my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. We're going to sing about the fact that we are one. Greg's got it sounding like Saturday night up here this Sunday morning. Sometimes I feel that we try and make each other sad. Things that we do, how we make each other feel so bad. We've got so much, we could all be having so much fun. 'Cause we are one. From the very start, we are
one.
Deep down in your heart,
We are
one. And that's the way it is.
We are one.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Can't understand why we treat each other in this way. Taking our time with the silly games we play. We've got our love, and no matter how it's said or done, don't you know we are one. No matter what we do,
We are one.
love will see us through,
We are one.
and that's the way it is.
We are one.
Say it again, say it again.
We are one.
And that's the way it is.
We are one.
Love will see us through.
We are one.
It's up to me and you.
We are one.
Deep down in our heart,
We are one.
we are one. We are one.
We are one.
We are one.
We are one. We are one.
We are one.
Those who are on live stream, welcome to Cityside on a beautiful Sunday where it's going to be 50-some degrees in February. So we're grateful for that. So if you are here for the first time, we especially want to welcome you. It seems like every Sunday we see new old friends, those of us who came through Bodhi, so many of us have. It's a pleasure to see everybody and new faces as well. So at Cityside, we are about practical spirituality that you can use to create the life that you want. We embrace new thought and wisdom paths and are affiliated with Centers for Spiritual Living. We honor all paths and we practice oneness. And what we're really about is providing a supportive community so that we can explore our own spiritual path and connect to spirit and the wisdom within each of us. So I just want to point out that Gordon is holding vigil for us in the back so that we can continue to have a transformative experience. So you have handouts on your seat that have our vision. Pull those out. We're going to read that together. We envision an empowered community that is living in a world of unconditional love in action. Our mission is to create safe spaces to explore and deepen our faith, grow in spiritual relationship, and connect with our authentic nature. We are a social media friendly community, so if people are on their phone, not to worry. We hope that what they're doing is connecting on various social media platforms and sharing the word. If they're doing Sudoku online, that's okay. But get the word out. You know, people do check us out later on in the week. So if you post that you're here and you put that on your page, people do connect with us. So we really want to do that. Just turn your ringers down. So our theme for February is a new frame on love and relationship. And so, you know, I have not been a speaker this month. I'll be speaking next month. So I've got the mic now, so I can share this joke. You shouldn't give me the mic. You know, so we're not just focusing on romantic love, but it's part of this, you know, frame on love. So this is what Garrison Keillor says about marriage. You know, getting married for sex is like flying to London for the peanuts. It's not really the point of the thing, is it? So I just had to get that one in. I've been thinking about it all month, so there we go. So Maureen will be speaking today on good enough. And I'm eager to hear what she has to say. We all know that when Maureen comes, there's lots of laughter, learning, and love. And so we're eager to hear that. And my take on this being good enough is, as a parent, my kids are grown now, and I think I got them through. Me and my husband got them through to adulthood okay, but all while they were growing up, the standard I had for myself is to be good enough. Now, maybe that doesn't sound like a very high standard, but I long ago gave up perfection. And I felt that I was good enough for these particular children, for what they needed from me. And so, you know, I'm sure that Maureen will have more to say on that, but that's my take on it. So this is our time of getting to know one another, and we have an icebreaker question each Sunday. So our icebreaker is, where in your life would you like to know that you are good enough? Or maybe share an experience in your life where you realized that what you were doing was good enough. So go for it.
Okay, I'd like to have everybody come back, please. Okay, let's come back so I can do the reading and we can get into meditation. All right, thanks everyone. I'm Keith Jacob. I'm one of your spiritual practitioners here at Cityside, and we're doing a little impromptu reading today for Maureen, and I think you might recognize these words from somebody wise from all our youth. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside. And when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make it a snappy day, please stand. And let's see, where's the last line? It's a very good feeling to know you're alive. So let's turn within on that. think about the statement that Mr. Rogers said, I like you just the way you are. So close your eyes and see yourself saying that to yourself. Do you like yourself? And in this sacred space, I want you to lean into God. Relax. Feel that universal love. Breathe in that love. Allow yourself to gently come back, keeping this loving, sacred space as I bless the service today. This love, this peace that we're sharing is God. God is this one love, this one power, this one truth. I am one with this truth as each person here, each person in Livestream. Everyone in the world is one with this truth, with this peace. So from this place of oneness, I claim a blessing over this service, thankful for all the people that come together week after week, day after day, to hold this energy of love, and the desire to speak it into the world, all the hands and hearts that made this service and every service. We're so thankful. Speak a blessing over Maureen, our speaker today, knowing that this is a grand lady that walks her talk and dances and sings and a few other verbs, but suffice to say, we are blessed to have her speak that truth, speak that word. She is an open pipe for Creator to speak through, and we are blessed to hear what she has to teach us today. And finally, I bless each individual here, live and in the future through technology. There is no space and time. So love is ours always. We simply have to remember it and turn to it. So I speak a blessing over each of you, that you're here today getting exactly what you need. I know it's already done. All you had to do is show up and you got here. So amen. And so it is.
Good morning once again. In celebration and recognition of Black History Month, I thought that I would do a spiritual for you this morning. Give you a little background. As I know it, I promise I was not there. But it seems that the ancestors were very ingenious in spite of all the atrocities. So they had these secret codes. A lot of those codes came through the spirituals that they sang. There were even signs that were made into patterns on their quilts so that they could know safe houses and directions to go and when they should hide and when it was safe. On the plantation, they were kind of force-fed a religious belief based on Bible scriptures. So, ingenious as they were, they would often use these Bible verses to write these songs that were called spirituals. I was looking here to see if I could actually find the verse that this is based on, but it has something to do with keep your hand on the plow. Hold on. And then during the civil rights movement, it kind of changed into keep your eye on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on. So when they talked about the River Jordan, they were actually talking about the Ohio River and sometimes the Mississippi River. But they were able to give these messages so that they could pass over to the north that was often referred to as heaven. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on. The River Jordan is chilly and cold. Chills the body but not the soul. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on. You don't believe I've been redeemed? Follow me down the Jordan stream. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on. brave and gonna scream and shout. There'll be nobody there to turn me out. Keep your hand on the plow, hold on. If you get there before I do, tell all my friends I'm coming too. Keep your hand on the plow, hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
Just hold on.
Hold on.
Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on.
Wow, Bobby, beautiful. That just hit me right in the heart. It's just beautiful, and it's so wonderful to hear stories woven with music and getting to hear the backstory. So generous. So it's good to be here today to keep with the spiritual. This is my book. This is my book. This is A Course in Miracles. This is my book. I am what it says I am, and I can do what it says I can do. And what it says is that I am good and beautiful and holy, and you are good and beautiful and holy. And I wanted to share that with you because I've gotten to come and share the good news with you for the last couple of months, and I think I'm going to be off a little bit traveling, and I might not be back here for a while, but I wanted to just really let you know that that's my backbone. If you're ever interested in A Course in Miracles, there's a card on your seat, and for those who are streaming in, that gives you an address that says, what is A Course in Miracles? If you're ever interested, you can go there and you can get a whole week of little tidbits about what A Course in Miracles is with some meditations and with some music from the Beatles. So that's my jam, and I love sharing it. So today we're here at Cityside, and it is so good to be here. You know, it's so good to be here. And I wanted to share with you a little story about creation. Creativity is one of my favorite things to talk about. And if you've ever looked up the stories of creation stories, there's like a different creation story for every culture. Everybody has a different way of how we got here. You know, there's the big boom, and then I had a friend in California, his name was Vadim, and he told me that he thought we were all leftovers from the planet Venus. So, you know, there's some more creative creation stories than others. But I'm going to share with you the one from the Bible, from Genesis. And in the story of Genesis, it says that God was feeling really crafty one day and decided to get down to some creating. And she was like, I'm going to make some stuff, you know. And so she brought in light. She started with light, which is beautiful. And then she, you know, began to make light and day and man and woman and animals. And everything was really, really good. And she was like, sixth day came, and she was like, this is good. This is really, really good. I know I probably shouldn't say that God is a woman, because we know God, you know, if you haven't heard recently, she came out as non-binary. We saw that coming, though, didn't we? Yeah. I was like, God, congratulations for coming out as non-binary. I'm like, when did you know? She was like, from the beginning, you know, I knew right away. But you guys were all about, she's a man. So, you know, I'm a people pleaser, she told me. And I get that. It's nice to know that God's a people pleaser, isn't it? Yeah. My God is a people pleaser. I'm a people pleaser, so I kind of get that. So anyway, so they created this whole beautiful orchestration. And then on the seventh day, they were like, this is good, and I'm going to just rest in this goodness. I'm just going to rest right here. And the rest of us were like, what? Like, they're just going to go rest? Like, there's a whole nother day. Like, this is good. I mean, this is good. This is pretty good. But, like, we did all of this work and all of this was created. And shouldn't there be, like, an awards brunch or something? Some sort of celebration? And God was like, no, we're going to rest. It's good enough. Kind of got a little bit antsy. And we were waiting there as God was resting. And we didn't want to rest. We didn't want to be still. And someone mentioned, I think that this is good, but maybe it could be better. And we all looked at each other. We're like, better? We hadn't heard of better. We were like, we didn't want to sound like the losers, though, and be like, we don't know what better is. So we were like, yeah, better. We totally should have better. And what's better again? And the wise one was like, well, better is just more good. It's just extra good. It's gooder. I mean, people say better, but it's gooder. And we're like, yeah, we want better. We're like, get God up. We want better. And in that realization, we started to think, how come God's holding out on us? Why would God stop at just good? And do we perhaps have like an incompetent and unimpeccable and lazy God who's just phoning it in over there? Into eternity were always well. There crept a teeny mad idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. We started taking this very seriously. That's a quote from A Course in Miracles. Into eternity were always good and well. There crept a teeny mad idea at which we forgot to laugh. And we started saying, no, this is serious. We could have better. Are we going to really stop at just good? And then at the very same time, another radical and ridiculous idea fell into the minds of all of us. We all thought it separately, though, because we wanted to hold this one for ourselves. We're like, if God's just going to do good, I think I'm going to be the one to outgood God. I'm going to be the one who does better. I don't want to tell anyone that because I want to be the best. And it immediately led us all the way to the best. And things started to get really fractured from that point on. So, I know we're talking about Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements. And I think that maybe we could unpack this idea of being or doing our best. And there's so many great pieces of wisdom in this book. This has saved a lot of people's lives, mine included, changed the way I thought about a lot of things, because being impeccable with your word is really good. And not having assumptions is really good. And not taking anything personally is really, really good. But doing your best, I got a problem with that. I got a little problem with that, but would you expect anything different? So here we are at Cityside, right? We've already established that this is really good. You guys are really good. This is good. Bobby's awesome. This is good stuff is happening. And I should tell you that right now, actually, Reverend Amy Daniels is at Speakeasy. And if you've never been to Speakeasy, it's really cute. It's like this little white chapel, and Reverend Amy Daniels is really good. She's probably better, So you might be thinking like, we drew the short straw and we got Maureen, but we could have had Amy, and but she's there at Speakeasy, and my friend Al is making cookies for the congregation there, so that's really good. And so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it's better. That's better, and now we're in good. And once was really good, but we thought, this is good. Now we're like, wait, we could have had better. Right? And Don Miguel doesn't want us to do good. Don Miguel doesn't want us to do better. Don Miguel wants us to do our best. Live your best life. Right? It sounds like Oprah Winfrey. And that's not bad. Oprah Winfrey's really good, right? We've all agreed that Oprah Winfrey's the best. And okay, now you got me thinking. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? This is good. And where Amy is with those free cookies, that's better. But, right now, Oprah Winfrey is on some nicely cut grass. She's having her Super Soul Sunday, you know what I mean? She's not serving vegan cookies. She's got, like, mimosas going, and she's got, like, chocolate-covered strawberries. And she's not talking about Don Miguel Ruiz. She's talking to Don Miguel Ruiz, okay? Right? Right? Shit. What happened? What happened? And everybody there is going home with a car. So, This, my friend, is a recipe for hell. That's the perfect recipe for hell. We're on the triangle, good, better, best, good, better, best, good, better, best. You know? And so that's probably why it makes us feel a little bit agitated, or at least it makes me feel agitated, because sometimes when someone says to me, do your best, I kind of feel like the same feeling I get when I'm leaving like a coat check or, the Uber or a restaurant, and some very well-meaning soul says, good night, be safe. I'm like, what? Something I should know about? Like, is there like a landmine that you know before me that I'm not aware of? Like, it's that same sort of agitation. So when someone says to me, do your best, I kind of think like, do you think I'm not? This is it, man. This is as good as it gets, Like, do you think I'm phoning it in? And then I think maybe I'm phoning it in. Oh my God, maybe I am phoning it in. Maybe I'm not doing my best. Maybe I could do better. Maybe I cut corners. Maybe I like life hacks, Maybe I'm just resting on my laurels and I should be doing better. So for me, that can kind of get me fractured. And I have to trust that I'm not always going to do my best. And instead of doing my best, what I am going to always do is I'm always going to tell my truth. That's my truth. Because you know what? What I come to find? Telling my truth is always good. There's no way telling my truth can be bad. I mean, it might wake you up a little bit. It might be a bitch slap to you or a bitch slap to me when you tell me your truth. But in the end, it's good to tell the truth. But when it comes to my best is not always good. Sometimes my best is terrible, I mean, seriously, when it comes to math, I'm horrible. It's terrible. Even my best is very terrible. I failed algebra 3 times. Wait, no, it wasn't 3. It was 2 times. See how bad I am? It was 2 times that I failed algebra. I failed once in school and then once in summer school. Who fails summer school? This winter. And as far as cooking goes, I'm a terrible, sometimes it's inedible. I mean, that's my best. That's what my best looks like. So I have to be truthful about my best, We all have our own special sauce. We all have our own special ministries. We all have the special things that we can do to strive to be best at everything can really make us feel jagged. And we actually want to move into a greater degree of peace. Truth brings our peace. So God has already established us as good. Remember when we were created and there was a blessing placed on each of us that said, you're good. You're good, man. You're good. You are good. You are good. And we sometimes fall asleep to that. So maybe we can begin to wake up to it a little bit, to just take in this moment, this beautiful, precious moment, and really savor the goodness of it. And instead of doing our best, maybe just begin to just be, allowing myself to be, allowing you to just be. When we begin to be in this moment, take a little stroll around the room with me with your eyes. Take in the temperature of the air. Take in your weight against your chair. Just take in this moment. When you allow things to be, everything becomes holy. Isn't that beautiful, how simple it is to return back to peace? When you allow anything to just be, it becomes holy. So, when peace is the goal, love is the first invited guest. And she walks in and she just shines her light on everything, bringing music and magic and just really delighting in everything. And she sings the song of all is well and all is good. And she shines on everything equally. She doesn't know about good, better, and best. Love has no measurements. Love shines equally on all things. And what happens, though, is when we begin to invite in peace and we begin to invite in love, we think this is going to be easy. But immediately, fear does not want to be, annihilated. So it starts to spark up, and it will even stand right outside the window with a big, blasting music of songs of, hatred and horrific acts and hierarchies. And we'll get distracted from the goodness of the moment, and we'll rush to the window. We'll be like, what's going on? You know the windows I'm talking about, right? Our computers, our televisions, our radios that pull us from this moment so that we can multitask and be fractured. And they pull us to the window, and we began to fantasize and fear. Fantasize, oh, what could be, what could be, what could be? And fear, oh my gosh, this is horrible, this is what was, this is what was. And we move between fantasy and fear, and these two evil stepsisters, really do a great job at preventing us from being in peace of the goodness of this moment. This moment is so good, and we don't want to allow anything to rob us of this moment. So, has anybody here ever been to the Soho House? Yeah. Any members? All right, damn, can't go to brunch today. The Soho House is just something I'm going to use as an example. But the Soho House is the best. Let me just tell you that. The Soho House is like this amazing entity that's like, it's taken like the idea of a country club, a special place of a country club. It's chewed it up and spit it back out for like artists and artsy people. And you need to have a membership to go there. Basically, the Soho House, and again, I don't mean to badmouth the Soho House, but the Soho House has taken that nightmare that we all had in middle school of the cool kid table, and they made a business out of it, basically. Yeah. So you get it? Yeah. So in order to go to the Soho House, you need to know somebody cooler than you who's going to vouch for your coolness. But let me tell you, it's really, really, it's the best. And I got to go there one time, and I can tell you that it's the best because, well, it's hard to explain, but I'll try and explain it to you. First of all, when you walk into the Soho House, it has that cool vibe that's like, like exposed brick. Any place with exposed brick is going to be like, okay, I see it. It's ironic, but it's like, okay, I see what you're doing here. This is cool. It's exposed brick, kind of like this place. This is a lot of exposed brick. Yeah. And the other thing about the Soho House is that somebody has decorated it very nicely. There's all of this beautiful art all over the place, gorgeous art that just kind of like takes your breath away. And it's kind of weird. Okay, there's art around here too. It's very funny. It's very funny. We have art and exposed brick, okay? And then at the Soho House, it's not just the exposed brick and the art, it's the people. The people are super, just looking at them, you can tell, like, they've shaved their faces in interesting ways of soul patches and, pork chops and all the rest of it. And they're lots of gray and black and just hip, they're just really hip. And you can tell they're big thinkers and scarves, lots of pretty scarves, It's kind of funny, actually. You guys look like you'd fit right in with that Soho House. It's kind of weird. If we were to do a commercial for the Soho House, I think, you guys would be perfectly cast for the Soho House, so it's kind of funny. But it's not just about the people and the exposed brick and the art, actually. They have coffee there. Coffee, it tastes like, coffee. Well, it tastes like coffee, basically. So that's kind of odd. You guys have coffee here, right? Eric, I think you're missing an opportunity. Do you sell memberships to this place? Interesting. Very interesting. You guys got it for free. Very interesting. You could be making a little side cash here. Just saying. Don't want you to miss out. But really, the real thing about the Soho House that sets it apart is not the exposed brick and the art and the cool people and the coffee. It's that it has this amazing way of making you feel like you don't belong. That's the money. That's what you pay for. That's what you pay for. And even if you're there as a member and even if you're there as a guest, you kind of have this awkward itch in your mind that's like, someone is going to call security and I'm going to be escorted to the door. I know that's going to happen. You're not allowed to take pictures at the Soho House. When I went there, I went into the bathroom for a selfie. Honest, I did. I just wanted to prove that I actually made it. That's so sad. So that's the idea of the Soho House. But that's what's happening right here. And we've just decided one is good and better and best. We've made that up. We made that up. What are all the crazy things we're making up? What are all the crazy things we're buying into? What are all the expensive ways that we make it hard for ourselves to just be in the beauty that's been unfolding and unfurling for us every day? The gorgeousness that lives right before us, that we've established as VIP or only for the special, or I'm not really worthy of this yet. And that all comes from good, better, best. That all comes from good, better, best. When all along we could have just had good. And good was always, always, always good enough. So I'm going to invite you into a radical suggestion for this week. To maybe let go of all those hierarchies. To maybe question those places that we deemed as good and better and best. To really see if you can find the holiness and the holy communion in this moment. The holy communion with you in this moment. It will only happen if you don't fly to the window. It will only happen if you anchor that and know that for yourself. I am good and beautiful and holy, as God defined me. I don't need to be anything more. I could never be anything less. You are good and beautiful and holy as is. You could never need to be anything more. You could never be anything less. So, in the end, our beautiful and gracious God has given us exactly what we always needed, what was good. And good was always enough. And that's the word. Thank you. I'm going to put this into prayer for all of us. So just take a breath, and really, this is a practice. You know, this is a simple little practice where wherever you are, you can begin to notice the magnificence, the impeccability of that moment. Seek to see the beauty that is seeking you. Seek to see the beauty that is seeking you. So we just take a moment to turn within and just know that God is so good. God is so good. This benevolent Mother, Father God. This impeccable and joyful and generous God. You are good. You are beautiful. You are holy. You always will be. Nothing ever could ever happen to change that. There's a place within you that is divinely lit by my love. This light that dwells within you cannot fail. I go with you wherever you go. I delight in you, and I am the light that dwells within you. And from this place of awareness and acceptance and awakening, we just move into the feeling nature of gratitude. This grateful heart that is so very thankful to be right here and right now in love and in the love of God. And for this love and so much more that continues to take the optimal form for our highest good, I give thanks. I surrender these intentions into the powerful energy of God's love that always says yes. Yes, 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 my beloved, yes. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
So can we just thank Maureen again for that wonderful message that she gave us. So I am certainly going to take that message of good enough to heart, because I speak next week. I don't know what I was thinking going after Maureen, but that's the way it is. All right, so Cityside is a community-supported organization, and each week we practice conscious giving to support Cityside in creating the space and experience of us coming together as a community. And the reason I give to Cityside is, as everything is unfolding, with Bodhi, a lot of us came through there. Can you imagine if Mark had not started Cityside, and if Reverend Amy, God bless Reverend Amy, had not held the vision of it to become this place and its beautiful unfoldment. So I can't imagine not supporting that. This is my home, so that's why I give. And we know that each of you has your own reason for giving. We are going to make our gifts now, and the basket will be coming around, but you can also additionally text to give at the number 312-757-8111. You put in the word text and then this number. And you can also go to the website, cityside. What is it? Cityside.me. There you go. Yeah, okay. So before we make our gifts, I want to invite you into a ritual that we do here each week, just to get us into the mindset, the attitude of gratitude. So go ahead and I invite you to close your eyes and just reflect back on this week and what has happened. The flow in your life, the good things that have happened, maybe people that you encountered, events that you had attended, just whatever has been present for you in your life this week that you're grateful for. And then just turn that gratitude to your money, whether that's a big influx of money or just enough. Just place your awareness and your gratitude there. And so now we will read our intention around for the giving. It's on your handout. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. So thank you very much for your gifts.
It's like a diamond ring, it's a precious thing. And we never want to lose it. It's like a favorite song that we love to sing. Every time we hear the music, and don't you know that we're in this love
together.
We got the kind that will last forever.
We're in this love together.
And like berries on the vine, it grows sweeter all the time. Oh yeah. Ooh. It's like a rainy night in candlelight. And ooh, it's so romantic. We got the whole thing working out alright. And it's just the way we planned. Don't you know that
We're in this love together.
we got the kind that will last forever and ever.
We're in this love together.
And like berries on the vine, it grows sweeter all the
Good morning, I'm Eric Todd Rushing, and I serve as Sunday Director here at Cityside. If you are here for the first time, we'd like to welcome you and thank you for blessing us with your presence. If you would stop by the welcome table outside, fill out one of these cards, we would love to stay connected with you. If you've been coming for a while and you don't get an email every Thursday or Friday that lets you know who might be speaking or what education opportunities that might be coming up, and you would like to get that email, if you fill out one of these, you will get that as well. Coming up next week, we start a new theme with Reverend Judy. I love this theme, Inner Wholeness, the Healing Power in You. And then following on the 8th, Reverend Amy will be here. On the 15th, Reverend Daryl and Dr. Carrie Jacobson will be taking it. And then on the 22nd, Linda Jackson will be bringing it. And then on the 29th, the return of our friend Angie Hosley. She will be closing it. Well, she'll be bringing it, I'm sure, knowing her. And next week, you can stick around for the happiness meditation with Betty. That'll be at 11:45 right after the service. And we have a special kind of regional announcement. If you're looking for a spiritual tune-up to kick off spring, we have been invited to participate in a regional New Thought retreat from April 16th to the 19th in Portsmouth, Ohio. This is about a 6-hour drive if people want to get together and go on a road trip. This is sponsored by Centers for Spiritual Living in Ohio and Kentucky, one of which is Ahava Spiritual Center, which is the home of Reverend Rainbow now. So we have been invited to join that. It was posted on the Facebook group. There's a link if you want more info about it, ask, or we'll continue to post in the Facebook group about that. We want to thank everyone who helped to create today. Jill and Bob and Terry, Keith, John, Maureen, Judy, Gordon, Greg, Dom, and Bobby. And afterwards, please don't leave with anything on your heart. We will be offering prayer in the corner back here. We'll just transition into the hospitality hallway to create a safe, sacred space for prayer. You can fill out a prayer request form in which the practitioners will pray over for a couple of weeks, as well as get live prayer there. And finally, if you would like to join any of our service teams, our setup team, and our welcome team, right now we have about 6 or 7 people on our welcome team, and we would love to have 12. With that, we just ask for a once-a-month commitment. And if we have 12 people serving once a month, that makes us totally full and would totally feel like a miracle. So have a great day. Thanks, Cityside.
And let's all stand. Greg is going to lead us in just the way you are.
Your eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Your hair falls perfectly without you trying. You're so beautiful, and I tell you every day. Yeah, I know, when I compliment you, you won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that you won't see what I see. But every time you ask me, do I look okay? When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, because you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while, because you're amazing, just the way you are. If you know the words, join me. Your eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Your hair falls perfectly without you trying. You're so beautiful, and I tell you every day. But every time you ask me, do I look okay? When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, because you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while, because you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing